guys, it is Tristan with nerdettes-newsstand, and do you ever have one of those nights where you're laying in bed and you're thinking about the most random things and you're like, did I lock the front door? Maybe I can sunbathe tomorrow. Maybe Amber Heard is doing this all for PR. This broke late last night, and it started out with this entire kind of watermarked bullshit from Deadline, and it was very inflammatory in the way that it was designed to make you think. This chaos is going on. The whole trial is going to be thrown out. It's a mistrial. They need to start all over. Lord help us. We need more whiskey. But no. This is all very pre-planned. And I think there is a good reason why I'm going to make a case here that Amber knows this will not be declared a mistrial. And that is because simply when you look at the law in Virginia, it says no judgment shall be arrested or reversed for the failure of the record to show that there was service upon a juror of notice to appear in court unless made a ground of exception in the trial before the jury is sworn. Meaning, Amber knows what she's doing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll back up a little bit. But what we're seeing is Amber wanting this whole entire trial between her and Johnny to be thrown out and redone. She wants a mistrial or just for it to be null and void because one juror, now we do know that it is a male juror that was in the court and agreed upon by both parties, was supposed to be 77 years old. But the person that was actually selected for jury service was a 52-year-old with the same last name living at the same service residence. So it's likely a case of junior and senior, something along those lines. But because of the report that we have from Deadline, it's all redacted. We don't know those things, right? They think because of this, there should be a mistrial. Now, the reason I kind of started off the way I did is because I do believe this is a PR stunt. These forms are not available on the Virginia Fairfax actual website. They're usually available in a couple days because it takes a couple days to redact it. Meaning this one I showed you in the beginning, this was leaked. And who would want to leak something like this? Let's all take a little guess here. Yeah, there's only one person that would want to leak something like that specifically to Deadline, and that is Amber Heard's PR machine. Meaning, now, going in the future here, she can claim she never got a fair trial. She can claim that the only fair trial in this entire fiasco between the two was the one in the UK. She can claim she did not get due process, which of course we know better, right? We know better in this situation. And just to let you guys know, we will be going over this entire paperwork tomorrow on my live stream along with a few comics topics. But this whole thing is pretty much ridiculous. And the reason why I say so is because not only is it a huge PR stunt, but it also feels like they knew beforehand. They have to go through this whole jury selection, right? It was made apparent that these jurors were not going to be doxxed, and that's a great thing. So the whole jury selection on the very first day was not open for the public to see. We did stream on that day. We did talk about it, but nobody got to see that portion of it. Meaning it would have been very easy for Elaine to go, look, this person's age is 77. I mean, but they're 52, right? Like that's a very huge difference. This would be very apparent to see. They sat there in the trial with them for 6 weeks. This doesn't seem like it's something that wasn't known, meaning they knew what they were doing. They knew that this could get them some good PR. But by what I showed you in the beginning, it's not a case for a mistrial. You cannot mistrial something when it has already been and gone through everything in jury selection. And they actually do go over In the conclusion, I have to read to you because it's so ridiculous. For all the reasons set forth in the initial memorandum, Ms. Heard respectively requests that the court declare a mistrial due to improper juror service in violation with her due process. It was not. Jury selection was complete. Both Elaine and Amber's team and everybody on Ben Chu and everybody on Johnny's team agreed to these people. But I digress. Her due process rights and order a new trial and such other action or relief may be appropriate. Now, we're going to continue here at the bottom just a little bit. Mr. Depp would be incorrect. This whole thing reads, when we go over it, you'll see, but this whole thing reads extremely demeaning and pretentious. The whole thing. And Mr. Depp would be incorrect in contending Ms. Heard somehow waived this argument by not raising it during voir dire. Now, that is jury selection. That is complete. And she is completely wrong here. She got her jury selection. I think there's 5 steps to voir dire, but it was all complete. And in the Virginia case law, which they even say in this, you have waived that right. But not only were the voir dire questions ruled in advance, that's typical, and the parties limited to those questions during voir dire, but the responsibility to ensure that the potential jurors participating in voir dire are the ones listed on the jury panels rest in those individuals and the court. See Virginia Code, and that's the one I actually showed you. Due process entitles litigants, such as Ms. Heard, to rely on those basic assurances that potential jurors are who they say they are, and they are actual individuals the court summoned. Now, this should have been raised a long time ago. What I think she's trying to say here is that somehow this is not actually her fault. Shocker, right? Amber doesn't take any responsibility for her team or Johnny's fault, Johnny's team's fault. What I think she's trying to say is this is actually the fault of the court. They did not verify their identity, but neither did you. Neither did you. This whole thing is a massive PR stunt in order for her to dismiss this trial as something that shouldn't count. And that's not right. I'm sorry, I would bet money that this is not going to matter. This isn't going to matter. I'm sorry, Amber, you lost. You can't take this L. She just can't. Her ego will not allow her to take this L. This is going to be in appeals for a very, very long time. Let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. I will see you in the next one.